Minutes of September 24th. Have any corrections, changes? Found from,
I had sent a couple corrections. Did they get, I don't know.
Oh, the one I wasn't. What it is you wanted.
That's, can we hold off then? Because I sent a couple corrections.
Okay.
It'll be, approve them next time.
all right. We'll approve those next meeting. Night, October 8th. Anybody white?
Shannon,
Shannon?
For.
Zero Dugway. Stormwater runoff.
Thing.
Good evening.
This afternoon, Brent sent over some photographs
Mhm.
and an email that he had talked to the contractors out there and went out there today. And they had excavated the rain garden and level spreader areas for temporary stormwater holding during construction. And they cleaned out the swales, put water bars in across the driveway and additional erosion control. So he felt that everything was staying on the property
Yeah.
now. They are back to where they should be.
All
So
right.
those came in and I haven't had a chance to look at them. I had a question from the last meeting about the damage to the road. And we were gonna check with you to see if the town fixes it or.
He's been up there, but I don't know on this particular spot. I know he's been by it.
It was pretty extensive erosion to the south side of the road.
Uphill side, yeah, south side.
Yeah. That was definitely from that driveway.
Yeah, it sounded like that's the town's responsibility and
It sounded like from who?
from Brent.
From Brent. So let's ask.
Yeah, I asked him if there was any damage to the road and he said that nothing that has changed recently.
Okay, but the erosion that's there now wasn't there before the project. So I think we should just, it may be the town's responsibility, but we should confirm it.
Yeah.
That the town fixes it when it's a private.
I gotta see Hugh again.
And David had looked at it too. I don't know if you had comments, David.
I have pictures.
You're muted, David.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I looked at the photographs. I did have a question, Shannon, you talked about excavating the rain garden. Is that one of the rain gardens that's up towards, partway up the hill or towards the top of the driveway? Or is it something that's down at the bottom of the driveway?
It's all of the rain gardens that were to be used as the rain gardens and the level spreaders that were supposed to be dug initially to manage the water during construction, and then they'll be converted over into the stone level spreaders and rain gardens.
Okay, yeah, that's great. I think, based on what I saw that, obviously the embankment, as you're driving up the driveway, the embankment on the left side is pretty bare. The one on the right side is nice and green, according to the photos you sent today. My sense was that whatever you guys could do to keep as much water from getting to the top of the driveway and flowing down the driveway as possible would really be a benefit. And then whatever got past there, as long as it was pitched to the swales with check dams, that should help. I think you guys in the commission should keep an eye on this site because we're at the tail end of the growing season right now. We've got maybe a week or two left. So if that embankment on the left side of the driveway stays unvegetated or unstable in some other way, and the growing season is going to come to an end in another week or so, meaning the trees are not going to be pumping that water out of the ground. It's going to be wet for
Versus up here.
5 months. And it's going to be tough to keep that under control if we get a lot of snow and then snow and rain and snow melt. And so I think it just needs to be, you guys need to keep an eye on it. if it turns out to be problematic throughout the next couple weeks, you might want to consider erosion control blankets or something.
Mhm. I will pass that along.
And when does the planting start?
The planting will be after the construction's complete.
Okay. So when will that, I don't remember the time.
It's certainly not going to be this fall.
So,
If they get a seed down, maybe they can get that growing on that embankment, but the full planting will be,
I don't remember how far out that, is that 2 years? Is that in the spring?
I'm not sure how far along they are, but it certainly is not this fall.
So, let's, this is informal, so we're not gonna close it, but, I'd like an answer from the town on
Yeah.
the road before, just so we can get back to you on that.
Shannon, one more question. How many rain gardens together?
I don't recall, but I think it was 3.
Three.
I have the plan. Somewhere. Oh. You say old, so I guess that's it. Okay,
Oh, there should have, I know there was a revision.
10-4.
One, two, three, 4, 5. They're basically at the top, and the first bend, the second bend, there's one on either side, and at the end of the driveway.
You turn that around.
Okay.
All roughed in now?
Yes. Large one here, here, another set here. Was it right here? And then here.
I think we have to wait the rains to see what works and what doesn't. Hopefully it's just a little bit of,
I will pass along your questions and additional concerns.
right? The rains can be taken right by. I'll try to. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shannon had
Minutes of your
a question for
Yes.
104 Anglican Road.
Yep,
You get out to look at the trees?
yes.
You did not, but we did.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only questions was down in the, where it goes under the driveway,
Mhm.
and there was a number of ash that we figured take them out.
I wanted to talk to you about that, taking those out and taking out the barberry and doing plantings along the bank of the stream
Mhm.
to account for those trees that are being removed.
Are you gonna plant shrubbery, undergrowth, trees?
A combination.
Can you give us paperwork for it?
Yep.
So we know, and there was also that maple that as you're going down the drive up towards the house, it's on the left, big beautiful maple, that's going too. It had a
It
tag.
had a
X.
ribbon on it, yes. Because the poles are gonna be there and the lines are going overhead from the pole on the right side of the driveway to that pole, so it's gonna go through that one.
Okay, and there was a healthy maple in the wetland there too. So yeah, if you can replant a couple trees, that would be great. And tell us, give us some paperwork as to what I'm taking out.
So we have the
Can I
jurisdictional,
ask another question though?
yeah,
Why, it seemed to me why the pole, if you're looking at the driveway at the top, the pole that would be to the left, the further down the road, where pretty clearly the current underground service comes from, why aren't they going direct in from there rather than diagonally across the stream and taking out it seems that you take out lots more trees by going diagonally across the stream to the new pole, as opposed to coming down the north side of the driveway.
I cannot answer that. That was a determination made by National Grid.
I mean,
Would it have anything to do with the distance between poles?
I don't know.
and,
I
and,
don't know
and
that
why
much
not
about them.
add the new power underground like the existing power is? Would be my other question, which would lead to less disruption.
I honestly don't know.
Could even
I
be
haven't
cheaper.
had the conversations with National Grid. But I know when they get to so they have the existing pole, they're gonna put in the 2 poles by the driveway. That'll all be overhead and then they'll go underground.
Mhm.
I don't know why they could, maybe it's the stream. I'm not sure why they can't go underground.
There's underground there now. Are we correct on that?
Clearly there is.
Yes. Mhm.
But that's what the house
So why
is.
So this is an upgrade that they decided to go overhead rather than,
Yeah. It's a higher ampage.
How much were the poles you paid for, Sally?
$28,000,
How many?
7,
7.
Ouch.
no, 4, 28,000,
So,
7,000 per pole.
you must have got the good one.
well, so can we get an answer to those questions?
Sure.
And,
So we're gonna
written, a
hold
written
this.
request that with paperwork on what the replanting
Mhm.
will be.
We're gonna hold on this.
Yeah, if we have questions, I'd like to see what the replacement is, not just shrubs, because there's nice live trees coming out there.
Mhm. Okay, certainly. And this project is never gonna,
Yeah.
this project is never gonna go away. I was informed just a couple days ago that they would like to build a retaining wall. Numbers on,
This the same location?
same property. So the existing house has an approved addition, so this is the lake down here. And this is an approved addition on the house. And we just had stairs coming down. What they would like to do is a more extensive landscaping with a retaining wall here and a flat area here, and then stairs coming up. That's kind of a slope now. It goes up to that flat area that looks like it would have been a leach field. You remember that?
So what's the distance to the lake?
50 feet.
So can we get a formal request?
Yes, I didn't know if you were comfortable including this. It is within our scope of work area, our work limits, or you want an RDA or an amended.
Something, we want something other than this.
It probably could be an amended order, but you have to have plans to
Yeah.
refer to, and we'd have to do a site
And
visit.
and the loss of
Yeah.
buffer within the 50 foot?
Existing home.
That is some of the area that was to be native vegetation, and we can swap that
Yeah,
elsewhere.
so I would want to say, it may not be an idea if it's, let's get some good paperwork.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So
a
we
little
want
confused on what it would
to,
look like, but I think the drawings would explain that, so.
Yeah, I have the
Amended order.
designer's drawings.
so we'll get an amended order for that.
And they need to see it.
We get an amended order, we can go see it.
Okay.
And then ask them if they're done.
Already.
I don't know, I hear rumors of something else. I will. Yeah. Just one more comment. Did I hear you guys talking about the Scenic Mountain Act mapping?
We
Are you
did.
looking for the large map?
Yeah, do you have one?
I have it,
How big?
24 by 36 in CAD.
Okay, can you print out a hard copy?
Mhm.
I'll pick it up tomorrow, something like, or whenever it's ready.
Yeah, let me find it first, but I'm sure we have it or I have a faded one on the wall.
Okay,
Yeah, just give me a call before you come up and
yeah,
make sure I have it.
So is it?
that's a great help.
Is it enough detail that it shows like individual plots or individual properties?
No, it's done on the USGS map.
So it's USGS,
Yep.
not the Aegis system.
No,
Sure.
this was,
I'll give you a call tomorrow,
okay,
okay? In the
Yeah.
morning sometime.
I will look for it.
Good.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you all very much.
Thank you so much.
Do you mind, can I ask a question, just because you just had this conversation with them? So I don't jump later, if it's not contextually appropriate. I don't know who you are or what.
We need to know who you are, though.
Oh, I'm Patty Kaya, I'm a resident of
Yes.
Stockbridge. I'm just curious what firm you're with, that you have a copy of the scenic mountain map?
I'm with White Engineering and we put the map into AutoCAD for the commission when the act was developed.
I was just
Thought
curious.
we'd done that, but I couldn't remember.
Mhm.
So so there's a sort of crappy photocopy of it on the town's website, you have the real one that was made from? Perfect, thanks, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Our goal is to get a large copy and just to leave it here in the room.
Or make it
For anybody.
available so that people can see it online.
Yeah, whatever you.
Okay, yeah, I can make you a PDF of it as well, a better quality.
We'll
PDF.
discuss it. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
That makes
That'd be awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Notice of intent.
No, 21 weeks.
Oh, we skipped it. Stormwater permit for 21 Wheatley Drive.
I got I got an email from Matt Punton saying that something had come up and he was gonna try and come in, so we're just gonna have to slot him in if he makes it,
Who is he?
Tonight,
from SK Design.
And they will tell us if it's,
We can set up a site visit for that.
okay.
all right, he shows.
Yeah, got hung up somewhere.
Now we'll go to Roast,
Yeah,
8 Williamsville Road,
nope, no news,
nothing from DEP.
nope.
Well, they're waiting. They had to redo it for DEP.
Um,
There's no file number.
Marion Fathers.
All right.
Like to start with the ANRAD. I wasn't aware the stormwater permit was on the agenda, but I can definitely speak about that as well. So we received Brian Sider with Fort Play, for the record. We received David Cameron's peer review of our ANRAD submission for the Marion Fathers. And he generally agreed with the stream delineation, but the BVW on the sort of northeast portion. So this is the top of the field up over the hill where the solar was proposed. He had made a determination that possibly the BVW was out further into the meadow versus back into the edge of the woods where we had delineated it. I'd preface to say this, that the field was mowed when we first did our initial delineation. It's been mowed for a long time. I'm looking back on Google Earth, at least 95. It's the best, earliest photo I can get. But I did do an evaluation of it. And I generally agree with where he determined the flagging should be based on hydrophyte vegetation that's in that meadow, and also doing soil analysis where it's not an easy delineation to determine, but essentially based on where hydric soils are within 12 inches of the O horizon versus where they're greater than 12 inches. So I did soil analysis on both sides of the delineation, found where it's 8 to 10 inches versus where it's 14 or greater. And that's essentially where the new line runs. So I sent this It was only a couple hours ago, but I did send the revised plans. I will say that adjusting that BBW line doesn't make any difference for any of the proposed project. So the idea with the NRED is just to confirm this as the delineated edge of the BBW and also the stream delineation that we had done.
And you'll send us hard copy?
I did.
Okay.
I have.
Did you have a chance to look at it, David?
Yeah, I actually just got in right before this meeting started, but I did see Brian's email. I didn't get a chance to read the narrative, but I looked at the site plan that shows the revised BBW delineation boundary on that portion of the property, and it looks accurate to me.
Okay, good.
Again, I spoke with David in the field about it and where he thought it should be based on just the vegetation community, which is not easy to distinguish because it's sort of mixed meadow and grasses, but based on the soil analysis, I think we agreed where that would generally be. So it's been redelineated and just looking to confirm that.
It wasn't major enough to impact any of the previous plans or drawings.
No, it moved 40 feet into the meadow. So essentially we were using the topography within the channel within the woods as our delineation method because the field was mowed, so we couldn't really do a vegetation analysis. So it moved about 40 feet west. But again, the buffer just barely overlaps this driveway. And any sort of development was proposed beyond that.
Have you finalized the location of the driveway?
The driveway.
The new proposed access?
Well, we can get into that, but yes, hasn't altered any.
Do we do?
Yeah, we need to,
Again, ANRAD wise,
We need to, wait a minute, wait.
That's the NRED, the stormwater permit is for.
that'd be the.
So we need to accept the ANRAD drawings?
Yes.
As presented?
Yes.
Motion?
So moved.
Second? All in favor? Aye.
You have to poll because we have Chuck online.
Chuck?
So Brian, it's wet meadow, right?
It's wet meadow, yes.
He tried.
It extends beyond what's mapped by USGS.
Probably got some sedges.
Yeah, it's sort of, it's groundwater breakout at the base of a steep slope that goes up to the driveway, so that's breaking out within a foot of the surface is allowing the vegetation to grow there.
The
So that's all set.
stormwater.
On the stormwater permit, I don't believe David has had a chance to review it yet, or I haven't seen it at least.
No, I haven't had a chance to review that yet.
do you,
I scanned the stormwater permit request.
you have a hard,
No, not for this, never mind.
there's in that one, there's in yours?
It should have been submitted hard copies now.
We have a hard copy.
Yes, yeah, no, this was for something else.
Can we get a hard copy?
You do have hard
I
copies.
do have hard.
We should have submitted 2 or 3.
We have hard copies. It was for something else. I was trying to send David something and I couldn't send it because it was too big.
So as we discussed at the site visit, they're proposing a new monastery dormitory building within that grass field that's there now. Square feet. To show that the designed stormwater mitigation meets the requirements of the Massachusetts Stormwater Handbook, and also, well, part of that is to not increase peak flows off-site and also to maintain the same amount of infiltration So we've done that by implementing a number of rain gardens.
Yeah, look at bigger. It's that one. If it fills, where does that empty to?
Eventually, there's a level spreader here on the north side. So it's filling up in the water quality swale. Ultimately, it would discharge over a level spreader at the end.
So this may sound like a not very smart question, but how do those stop the water from flowing down what's going to be that long path? I mean,
We're talking about the driveway here.
yeah,
Well, the driveway has a swale. And it's not really about increasing the water flow down the driveway because there's actually a lot less water going to that area because it's being captured into these rain gardens. There's underground infiltrators to mitigate new impervious surfaces, like the roof would go into their underground infiltration. There is a swale down along the driveway that goes into the existing catch basin, but again, it's less water than would be going there currently because we're capturing a lot of that up here. And I should say that these rain gardens are designed not to overflow, right? They're designed for the 100-year storm, so they have the volume to infiltrate that amount of water.
And the new parking area just drains downhill into that wide.
Yeah, there's actually a water quality swale that's part of our infiltration volume. So it goes in the water quality swale, then into a rain garden. So it's percolating down through the planted vegetation that's in the rain garden. And so again, peak flows in a 100-year storm are lower than would be expected for this entire field to sheet flow down across to the existing road.
And isn't there a stream or gully that goes under the main road just to the
Yep, that's
north?
that was part of the delineation, and we've purposely stayed at least 100 feet away from that with any of our discharges or
so is
stone aprons.
what's the chance of the water coming out of that swale by the parking lot, getting into and overflowing that stream, which goes under the road and could impact the Namke property and everything that's downhill from there?
I'd say less chance than currently because we're capturing a lot of that storm water. So, you're creating a swale on the driveway, but it's getting less water than this area would be.
You're adding whole lots of impervious surface.
yeah, you're capturing a lot, but you're losing a lot of impervious.
Right, but that's part of this handbook is that you provide enough infiltration to be greater than what is currently there. So any grass surfaces being converted to roof or asphalt, that volume is taken into consideration and used in, say, these underground infiltrator chambers, which are essentially like a leach field that fills the water and then percolates down through stone. So any water that goes into there, it's not coming out and going into your stream or your stormwater basins. It's percolating into the ground.
It could blow out, I mean, just technically.
Well, there's an overflow for this, so it would fill up and then go into the rain garden. And the rain garden is still capturing that extra volume. So again, I think that's an important part of reviewing it. The report is that it shows the numbers and how we've accounted for that. There's rain gardens here. There's a water quality swale on this driveway here. And ultimately, this is a series of rain gardens. So if one does overflow as designed, they continuously go into further and further rain gardens and then ultimately are dispersed over this is a long level spreader. So it's like 50 feet of level spreader. So you're not having any concentrated flow out of the.
Are the catch basins at the bottom of the drive? Right.
There's an existing catch basin at the bottom of the drive.
Where does that go to?
It discharges by the road currently.
And the,
But again, there's less water going to catch basin than there is currently.
I haven't had a chance to
It's
look
proposed.
yet either, but is there a sequence to what?
We have a operation and maintenance plan example and pollution prevention plan, but I don't think there's a sequence of work in here.
I thought with the site visit, we had asked for a sequence of work. Isn't that an issue that came up for Dudley?
Yeah, so one way that, and again, I haven't reviewed this thing yet either, so I assume the commission will continue this, but one way that the construction phase stormwater management can be handled is the commission could request or require as a condition a copy of the stormwater pollution prevention plan that gets prepared by the contractor. And there could be a condition that requires a detailed site plan that shows precisely what the construction phase stormwater structures are going to look like. And the commission could review that and then approve it if they're okay with that prior to construction. That's one way something like this is handled. This is, I mean, it is a field. It's not forested clearing, which is, that really changes drainage characteristics on the side of a hill. But there's going to be a lot of earth moving. It's a pretty big project, so that might be something the commission wants to consider.
You got that?
I did breeze very, very briefly through the stormwater permit application when I received it. I haven't done a thorough review. The numbers, the pre and post numbers do look good. It did have detailed sub-catchment maps, so I could see exactly how how those guys were determining where water's coming from and how it's going to be managed and what the stormwater train is in terms of where the water is going to flow. So it looks like everything is there. It looks like the application is complete for me to do a good review. But I just haven't been able to dive into it yet.
Did you get a groundwater level, right, on anything in their assumptions?
Yeah, we did pretty extensive handholds and geotech analysis. And I was not the one that did that, but I know that it's built into this report.
So,
in terms, because we use you use the groundwater elevation in designing your infiltration.
Can you tell us what it is? If it's, can do it another time.
I don't know if I can give you the exact number as far as the groundwater depth, but we did analyze seasonal high groundwater.
We have some experience with that, the commission does.
Yeah.
And it was told to us by one of the people that, I guess, one of the people that were in charge of maintenance, that they had dug some wells and that the water level really goes up and down. It's a big movement. And if
It'll depend on the season, of course, but when we do the soil analysis, we're looking for seasonal highs, so you can tell the highest elevation at which the water rises to.
you could look for the modeling, right?
Right, exactly.
That'd be interesting to know that.
You probably could dig a long ways this year.
I think it's in the report, but I can't quote that right this moment. But I would say in terms of construction phase, we don't want the issue with like Zero Dugway Road where it doesn't get implemented up front so that you have problems during construction. We would definitely have erosion controls in place and mitigation,
So if you
silt
can-
traps and things like that in place.
if you can get us that sequence, I would appreciate it.
Sure.
I'm sure that happens because I know stormwater guidelines are being rewritten, right? I don't know when they're going to come out, but what was the 100-year storm is no longer the 100-year storm. So it's concerning when you see a big project like this on a scale. knowing what happened last time, so.
This is like a 2-year project at least, isn't it?
Well, when we're using current rainfall data, so it's not necessarily based on like 1980s FEMA data. It's based on current rainfall from NOAA.
Okay,
And that's what's required of the stormwater handbook.
So this is
They
gonna,
have risen quite a bit. They're higher numbers than in the past, but
this is gonna sit through at least whenever it starts. Probably at least 4 seasons, I'd guess. If you're thinking it done in less than a year,
highly doubt it would be done in less than a year. Yes.
David's gonna review this, right?
yeah.
David's gonna review this.
Yeah, I think I just want to present it because
Yeah.
it was on the agenda, which I didn't realize at first, but I think we'll wait for
That's fine.
David's report and we can definitely get some construction sequencing together.
So far, at least I understand it a lot better than when we were just standing out in the field there.
So we'll continue it until the next meeting, pending David's report.
make a motion to continue the hearing for the stormwater permit at Marion Fathers.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Hey, Chuck's here.
Hi, Chuck.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, I couldn't figure out the mute from the car. I'm in front of a computer now.
Missed you.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. Been a busy fall.
Sally, I believe the Fowler project was on the agenda as well, but I
Yep.
did not. I'd just like to continue that.
Okay.
It's
Which one?
to
Power.
Lincoln Road. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So briefly, having looked at the filing from intent for for Mrs. Fowler or Ms. Fowler, it's an improvement on the erosion and sediment on the property. So I think it's going to be an interesting thing.
Which one's that?
Notice of.
102 Interlaken
intent,
Road.
Power.
It's next to the boat club where the trees were taken out and they had to replant them.
Mm-hmm.
They're feeling very green these days, apparently,
Good.
which is good.
Mhm.
All right, so we gotta go back to.
So I heard from Michael Valenti about the 21A Interlaken Road. They're going to be here for the next meeting.
So that's continued,
Yeah.
Yes,
stormwater permit.
yeah.
36 Lake Drive.
Yes, we did the site visit on that
Mhm.
and we have to vote. I was really impressed with what they've done. It's really
They did a nice job.
incredibly cool.
So I make a motion that we approve the request for certificate of compliance for 36 Lake Drive.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
You did
Any
very nice.
opposed?
Okay.
11 Wheatley Drive.
So David, we have the letters that you drafted that we sent to them. And we haven't heard anything. So now what?
Did you indicate that they had come in for a meeting and then said they were going to put a stormwater permit application together and submit it? And then they just.
Well,
They did.
the one guy came and we haven't heard anything from him since then.
Yeah, so I did review, Sally. Thank you for sending me that excerpt from the bylaws that pertains to stormwater. It looks like as far as enforcement goes, the commission has the
I'm serious.
right to fine. First violation is $100. Second is $200. Third is $300, but you can also fine for each violation. So say it rains and there's a discharge to, it's Lily Pond is behind that one, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, say there's a discharge to Lily Pond that's documented. Every discharge would be a separate violation. So maybe a follow-up letter that says, hey, this is, you've got some exposure here. And plus there's the natural heritage thing, as I recall. It's mapped as priority habitat or estimated habitat right down behind the house. But wasn't there, they were building an addition on that house, as I recall.
Yes.
They
And
were,
has the commission, I'm sorry, go ahead.
it's out of our jurisdiction in terms of Lily Pond, where the addition was going to be. But the issue was the stormwater.
Right, but has the commission coordinated at all with the building department to say, can we, I mean, if they've got an ongoing dialogue with these people because they're dealing with them more often, maybe there's a way to get some traction there.
Did you talk to the building inspector?
No.
All right.
I think so, but I'm not sure. Not about that.
Okay, so maybe we need to talk to them and see what's going on.
We can do that, but I think Ian can be okay.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm true.
I mean, there's nothing stopping the commission from issuing fines right now.
Water, anything?
Well, since we don't, what I would suggest, it's a big step for us to issue fines. I sent you that excerpt. I would suggest another letter to say we really mean it. And if you don't respond, then we can quote them that we can do fines. I would use that as a step between actually finding. That's just my suggestion. I don't know.
Maybe put in a deadline.
And put in a deadline
If we
and
don't
say,
get back,
if
we
we don't
will.
get back to us by whatever date we choose, then
End of
the
the month.
fining, end of the month, then the fines would start.
Start this month.
David, there's a heritage issue there too, you said?
Well, there's, I can't remember if it's estimated habitat or priority habitat or both on the, between the house and the Lily Pond. I think it goes 100 or 200 feet off of the Lily Pond, which is where the stormwater, if there's been mobilization of soil sediment, it could have been an impact to rare species habitat too.
So
That property has been under review a few times. And it had a superseding order from DEP from when I first came on the commission, which was probably 1996 or thereabouts, 6 or 7. And I remember wandering around the property with Tim McKenna and
Thank
I
you.
forget who else. And there were supposed to be stakes put in the ground as to where it would no longer be mowed because they clear cut down to the lake. And I pulled that file, but I don't know if I brought it upstairs. But I thought you might be interested in looking at it
Sure.
at that point.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be in the area at any point, if you could let me know, we can get together and I can show you that file.
Okay, and I think you mentioned this to me last year or earlier this year. And I think all that stuff predated my time at DEP, which means I wouldn't be conflicted out of weighing
Right.
in on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to take a look at that.
Okay,
I
because
mean,
it had some,
if it's got a superseding order of conditions, it hasn't been closed out. Technically, it's still under DEP's purview, and maybe that's a way to get some traction too.
yeah, I think they closed it out.
Okay.
Pretty sure they closed it out, but still it had some ongoing conditions that I'm not sure have been met.
Yeah.
So that might be,
Ongoing conditions are problematic to enforce often.
yeah, but there should be stakes in the ground that were placed permanently that define where anything cannot be done beyond.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes,
Visible
okay.
markers. Yeah.
thou shalt not pass.
It would be nice if we could just get these people to agree to have an on-site meeting with us so we could actually take a look down by the water and see if there's been any impact too.
Well, I mean, don't we have a right to do that?
I don't think so because they don't technically have an application in front of the commission right now.
Okay, so let's get the letter to them so they get a stormwater application to us so that we can do that.
The neighbors have given permission, I believe, to go and take a look
From their property.
from their property.
So who will write will you write it, David, or you?
I'll write it.
You'll write the letter and give them till the end of the month? Okay.
My favorite things to do.
Yeah, no, it's a hard thing to do, but we're giving them another chance before we start to find them.
We've been nice long enough.
We've been nice a long time. Didn't get us very far.
No. Okay, I will write a letter.
Okay.
And then I don't know, apparently Matt is still hung up because he has not appeared yet for 21 Wheatley Drive, but they seem to be, they're amenable to us doing a site visit. We just have to arrange it.
Okay.
And Matt said if he couldn't make it, we could set a site visit,
And is that the one,
then check with him.
is 21 Wheatley the one where you walk down the property?
21 Wheatley is the one that DEP, David,
Can't be involved in?
can't be involved in.
Okay.
Do we know has anything started there?
I believe so. They have an order of conditions. Because they got a superseding order of conditions from DEP
But
and they extended it. But the question is, do they need to file a stormwater permit?
Because we don't know the
Is
size
the
of
work beyond 10,000 square feet? And I believe it probably is, but we need to find that out.
Okay.
So if we want to set a site visit, I can let Matt know
Okay.
and if it's convenient, we can go ahead and do it.
Imagine that building inspector's been there.
Probably.
Gotta see him about one thing.
So do we want to set a site visit?
Sure.
For when?
I could do Monday afternoon.
Before 4?
Indigenous
Before 4.
Peoples' Day.
It's
Oh, wait, no, I'm away.
You're away.
I'm away.
Um,
I'm away from Thursday through Tuesday.
Through what?
Columbus Day weekend. We have to close the camp.
Okay. Next day, the rest of next week is not good. But I don't have to go if you can go later.
Well,
I'm out of town Tuesday through Friday also.
Okay.
Monday's the only day I could do.
let's put it off then.
Okay.
We may get some
You're away,
response.
Jim?
The
Okay.
end of the week.
Okay. So we'll see if we
Middle of the
respond.
weekend.
Yeah.
end of the week.
We'll put it off.
Or it could be for Friday, whatever date that is. Date is that?
The following Friday?
Yeah,
18th or the 20th.
A week
That would be
Not
after
for
our
me.
next meeting.
Yeah, not for me.
I can't do the 18th.
I can't do the 18th either, but as long as somebody can go, I don't have to go.
Thursday?
No, all of next week.
Oh, all of next week is no good? Okay, well, how about the weekend, the week of the 21st?
I can do the 21st in the afternoon.
I'm good.
I could not.
I believe I
Okay.
can.
How many can?
I can go. If you give me a definite time, I'll make sure.
Chuck is available.
Yes,
We have Kampusa Bog and you have yoga, so like 3
20.
o'clock.
3 o'clock? 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock on the 21st.
Okay.
well, the 21st is Monday. I thought you said Sunday, no? I can do
No.
Sunday also, I'm just confirming.
It's
So
Monday.
no Monday?
No, I can do Monday. I just thought you were talking over the weekend for a moment, but I'm available that Monday also.
Okay, great.
3:00.
So I'll tell Matt the 3 PM on the 21st. Okay. All right.
And did we miss anything?
Yes. Well, nothing formal, informal stuff we have. We have to sign the order, the notice of intent or order of conditions. And we also have Kathy Plaken got in touch with me and
Yeah.
said that she has determined that her life is just she's traveling too much and she
Okay.
just can't manage.
So this is meeting attendance requirements?
Yeah, so it's on the next page
Okay.
that she's going to submit her resignation, which is unfortunate, but it's what it is. So we had, I don't know how much sway we have with
Selectmen?
the select board in terms of making a suggestion, but I thought he was on, John.
He's on.
Is he still on?
Can you hear us, John?
You're looking at a ceiling, I think.
It looked as though it was Carol, but anyway. Had expressed an interest a while back about being an alternate again.
And it's current.
Your digital moron is now able to talk to you.
Okay, visual moron. So are you still interested in being an alternate?
I am, however, you need to know this, from November 1 until November 30th, I am going to be gone. And in amongst those things is celebrating my mother's 99th birthday, but that's it. I mean, I'm not going to be here in November, so I don't know how much good I'm going to be able to do you.
Well, the nice thing about having an alternate is,
I would be in favor of you coming back on even if you were gone for the month of November. That's speaking just for me.
I'll go along with that.
me too.
As long as you're on the
Name of
month
the
of January, because I'm
What's
going
the
to be
name of
gone
the
for the
pot?
month of January.
Okay, we'll put your name in the pot, John.
All right, thank you.
We'll see what happens.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
glad you're interested. Thank you.
Anytime.
Um,
To sign.
So this is the 2 Beechwood Drive. So there's a 75% survivability
Mm-hmm.
and annual report,
Okay.
and that was it. Mitigation area, newly planted replacement trees shall have a 75% survival rate after 3 years. Any vegetation and/or trees that are not thriving shall be replaced. The annual report on the condition of the trees mitigation shall be provided to the Conservation Commission annually until the 3-year period has elapsed. Invasive plant species shall be removed from the immediately surrounding area.
We heard, I've never heard anything from the electric. About plantings.
Oh,
We have the contact name.
Yeah, There's just like,
probably.
Missed the whole planting season.
Yeah.
So that takes us to getting stricter with deadlines and applicants.
Were you there with us?
It's one of many
If I'd known that.
that just kind of stays out in the ethos, and I think we need a
They-
better
They
system.
hope that we forget it.
But we do, sometimes we do forget it. And I think.
But we haven't been 3 years yet, so the application is still valid.
You have 3 years to do the planting.
Well, they have 3 years until they have to extend. So,
Would it be
I don't
good to
know if
know?
they've actually done the work. That
Because
was,
we never even-
that was related to the Clark Pond thing. right?
Yeah.
Right, but I don't think we ever even
Almost
saw
every one of
planting.
those makes
equipment.
sense.
That would be
Nothing,
good. They don't have to
nothing
do
weird.
it.
They were gonna come up with a
Oh,
Yeah,
list
so
of
what they're gonna put in.
Stuff like that.
Plan.
She said, no.
That would be
I asked
good.
that question. She said, no, it's
I
based
know.
on the,
I can figure out who it was. I'll go back in the files.
but I think we overlay. I'll talk.
Folks, pardon me, I just wanted to, do you think you're all set with me for tonight, or do you want me to stick around?
I think we're good. I don't have anything.
Thank you.
We're
Thank you,
good.
David.
Good night.
So,
You're welcome.
David,
I'll,
how do you want to get that file that I have to get to you that I can't seem to send? Do you want me just to mail it?
if you have a complete hard copy of it, yeah, just mail it to the address that I emailed you today. That'll be
Okay.
fine. And I'll
right.
take a look at that before the next meeting, and I'll aim to get, my report done for the stormwater permit application for Marion, for Eden Hill prior to the next meeting
Okay.
too.
All right, I'll make a copy and send it to you.
Okay, great.
I tried every which way to send it, the scanned copy, and
Yeah, you know,
everybody said it
you
was
know,
too big.
in the, in the future, if the commission thinks that they're going to want me to review something, relatively soon after something's submitted, perhaps just ask the applicant to put an extra hard copy in the mail to my address. That way.
Good idea.
Because sometimes I'm going to the print shop to print these things out because they've got, full-size plans, and that's not a good use of the town's time either, so. Just a suggestion.
Good idea.
Okay,
Okay, I'll
Thank
see you
you.
next time. Good night.
good night.
Bye. Thank you.
Deadlines. Scenic Mountain Act, that's probably in the works.
So Shannon has a copy, a good copy. I didn't really hear the whole conversation.
Oh, sorry. They have probably a partial copy with not everything that you want to.
I remember,
I'm gonna talk to her and find out.
I remembered somebody that we commissioned somebody to fix the scenic mountain map. I guess it was White.
Copy somewhere, but that's
Yeah.
okay. I'll just talk to her tomorrow.
Well, what you said, they have it on CAD, but it's the USGS survey, so it's the topographical map, not the Aegis map with all the individual property lots lined out.
Okay.
So it's.
We can figure out how to overlay that, right?
Well, it's another layer, and I think we could just drop another layer on there
Right.
with the parcels.
But
And then leave the topography on there. And it may be, the topography may be a separate layer
Yeah.
and then the line. So I'll do what I can to
That'd be great.
take care of this.
Thank you. Yeah, great.
And as sort of as the adjunct for that, we had the list of town-owned properties.
Oh, yeah, I went through that.
And as did I, and they almost all make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know, the old town hall still shows as town property, and I don't know what's happening with the school.
Yeah, I think the purchase has been completed, so I think it's no longer town property.
Yeah, and the only other surprise I had was that, behind here, all up what I think of as Laurel Hill with the roster and all that, says it's town property.
Yeah.
That was
There were a bunch of properties that are, and I emailed Michael Blay and said, so why do we have no information on these? And apparently if it's a condo, there's no individual information on the property owner. So all the White Pines properties show there's no data associated with this property.
And there are, in terms of the ones that the town owned, there were very few, there's scattered little bits of things that.
Tiny little bits
Tiny
in
little
some
bits.
places.
If you're going where Church Street and North Church Street is, they split, there's sort of that funny island and land in between.
Mhm.
That's
The field arboretum. The field arboretum is there.
Meeting House Road.
And Meeting House Road, yeah.
So, and lots of
Maybe
things
they
for
can
the
put one of
water
their signs
company.
there.
Huh?
Maybe they can put one of their signs there.
Oh, yeah. Here's a good idea.
Shh. And the Cahill dump over on
That's the old wood
Glendale
dump.
Middle Road.
Yeah, that's the old landfill, which is now the solar array. The town's solar array is there.
Close to the new, whatever they're gonna do up in that area there.
Yeah, the affordable housing.
But, and if we get the map that has the lots on it in a size that we can work with, I'm happy to like color in these. And
Yeah, that would-
the other thing I thought would be to try to figure out those that, the not-for-profit properties that
Don't pay
Yeah.
don't pay taxes. That would be the other kind of
We'll buy a whole Crayola box if you like.
interesting thing to
All
look
the
at.
tax exempt
All
properties.
the tax exempt
There's a lot.
properties.
And the other thing that would be interesting to have on that would be the new map that the land trust just did, because the land trust just did a whole, they renovated or redid their mapping of conservation properties.
Yeah, he was here and he said they were just working on it
Yeah, they
about a
finished,
year ago.
they finished it.
That would be, to have a map with all of that would be wonderful. Or overlays.
I think overlays would be awesome.
Yeah, overlays.
I do too.
Because then you can look at everything and sort of
Yeah, figure
think
out
about
what's.
it in a different way.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, if we really want to go ahead and review where we might like to put conservation restrictions on properties, which properties
Mhm.
would provide contiguous. I mean, I know the BNRC has been looking at that, to have contiguous
They've been doing it
properties.
for, you know, very successful.
Because it makes a huge difference in terms of habitat.
Yep.
If it's not all broken up.
Mhm. They have pieced it together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
How many copies of if we get anything on the scenic mountains? I figure one for the room, one for your office,
yeah, at least.
another one we could,
Building inspector, maybe.
maybe put one at the library or something like that for reference.
One to every realtor in Berkshire County.
Well, if you can get a high resolution PDF copy, then that becomes easy. You can put it on the website. Folks, folks may need a printer to get what they need, but they can probably print out a chunk of it that they need too.
I could add to that too. You guys, I don't know if but we may develop a base map of these different layers. And if it's a PDF, if it's a file, then you can, on your computer, put in as many layers as you want, customize the map, and then blow up that one area if you want to see more detail on it.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Sure.
Back when we were talking about the algae bloom in the lake, I was kind of considering the idea of finding out from the health department who has a proper septic system in the lake watershed and who doesn't. And it was for no reason like going and slapping the hands of the people who didn't, but it was just for the sake of knowing, what might be, affluent going into Stockbridge Bowl. I don't know. That never went anywhere.
I don't know how you'd get that, John.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the problem, but I don't think it's insurmountable.
I mean, I think that comes under the heading of private property.
Yeah, it could.
John, the way that works is it is tripped up when the house sells
Right.
because it gets an inspection then.
It has to
Right.
have a Title V when it gets sold.
So they would have the records in the Tri-Town.
And it's public record.
The problem with that, the turnover is kind of slow, and living down here, I know I know of people that are waiting for the septic or the sewers to come in because they know they need a septic system.
So do I. Huh.
So that's part of big piece of the issue.
That's concerning.
I mean, you
But-
know, the
I mean, to
board
put
of
in
doing,
$100,000 septic when sewers are coming in a year, that's an equation from hell for these people.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah,
don't know that sewers are coming in a year.
Correct. But they keep threatening to, so. they're
Well,
hoping-
they've just, I think, completed the I. And that was the first step toward deciding what the capacity of the current system is. Because they have to fix that. You know,
And
if there's a whole lot of infiltration of water into the system and that's using up capacity, then
Right.
they have to fix that before they can go ahead and say, you know, we can now add however many households to the system and it can handle it. It's a big, hairy deal.
Lake George does a real good thing with the local banks. The community works with the banks to offer 0% loans for people to put in to upgrade their septic and sewers because it's so important for the tourists and everybody going up there. But it's a much larger area, and it's they have a multifaceted way of attacking this.
I don't think we have anything like that around here.
No, we don't, but it's difficult.
It is, I don't see septic going in for a long time. They haven't even started designing it as far as I know.
To be correct, I'd say anything within a quarter mile or maybe even more of the lake should be on the sewer system. Because, it's all downhill.
Now, I believe the water department says we have capacity now, but like you said, Sally, they have to fix any infiltration from cracked pipes and old clay pipes and whatever it is.
There was a major issue with the roof drains from the Red Lion Inn.
That was one of the,
Right into the sewer?
Right into,
is that part of what they're fixing now?
might well be.
Yeah.
All right, continuing on. Did this flip over?
Much it.
Want to talk about the upcoming event, Betty?
It's gonna be great. Anything else to say?
Okay,
I'm so bummed that I can't go.
I'm sorry you can't go because.
And I'm also really bummed that they're not going to record it.
No, they don't record them. That was a DCR decision. They don't record.
Yeah,
Rick, what do we got here?
it's a jurisdictional.
For,
8 Meadow Road.
yeah, I heard about that. I haven't been there yet. I drove by it twice today and it's swing in.
So I would make a motion to
You can
close,
make a motion to close. That'd be nice.
make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
10 after.
Very good.
Unless anybody wants
Thank you
to
for
see.
coming.
Thank you, Patty.